Tonight, it's my honor to introduce two very special and remarkable GW veterans. Alicia Bowles-Charles served in the Army Reserve for 8 years. She spent 18 months on active duty and served as a logistics specialist in Iraq during Operation Iraqi Freedom, same place my flag came from. She was awarded the Bronze Star for superior asset management skills. She graduated from GW in August of 2009 with a degree in international business and has stayed active in the GW Alumni Association. Alicia plans to continue her GW education by working towards an MBA in international business. Alicia? Michelle Miller is a 2004 graduate of the U.S. Coast Guard Academy. She served a tour of duty in Charleston, and then after Katrina hit, volunteered to be transferred to New Orleans. While on that assignment, she served as an intelligence officer and earned her master's degree in business administration and her emergency medical technical certification. Michelle is a Yellow Ribbon recipient and is currently enrolled as a first-year physician assistant at GW, and as I heard just now, she got the good news this morning, and has received a full scholarship and is going to enroll back in the Navy and is going to be sworn in and be able to get her degree while she's here and then be able to fill what she hopes is her life dream, which is to serve on either an aircraft carrier or go overseas. So, Michelle? So it's my pleasure to offer you Michelle and Alicia.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and honored guests. It is truly an honor for me to be here with you today. The newly created Colin Powell Public Service Award recognizes a member of our campus community, campus organization, alums, faculty, or former faculty member who has made an extraordinary contribution to the lives of others. The award helps to strengthen the bond between those who are recent alumni or currently studying at GW and those who came before us. While we cannot all be Colin Powells, we can take pride in the knowledge that we share with him a unique vision and learning experience, the GW experience. The award inspires us to use our talents for the greatest public good. The inaugural honoree of the Colin Powell Public Service Award has certainly done that. The Honorable Tammy Duckworth has dedicated her life to public service. The daughter of a Marine, she is a second-generation Purple Heart recipient. Born in Thailand, she grew up in several Southeast Asian countries before her family settled in Hawaii. While earning her master's degree in international affairs at GW, she joined the ROTC and after graduation was commissioned in the Army Reserves, where she completed helicopter flight school. She joined the Illinois National Guard and was working toward a doctorate when she requested deployment to Iraq. In November 2004, her Black Hawk helicopter was struck by a rocket-propelled grenade, causing her to lose both her legs. But she was not ready to stop serving her country. Since her recovery at Walter Reed, she has served as a fierce advocate for veterans and disability rights. In 2006, she was appointed director of the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs, and when Barack Obama took office, he called on her to bring her ethic of service to Washington as Assistant Secretary of Public and Intergovernmental Affairs for the Veterans Affairs Department. Her commitment has been recognized by veterans community and beyond. In 2007, she was a recipient of the Leadership Conference on Civil Rights Hubert H. Humphrey Award, along with President Clinton and the late historian John Hope Franklin. She received the Access Living Disability Leader of the Year Award in 2007, was named the DAV Disabled Veteran of the Year in 2008, and received the AMVET Silver Helmet Award in 2009. I am very proud to present her to you this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Tammy Duckworth.
Well, this is an amazing honor. Before I begin, I'd like to do two things. I'm going to ask all the veterans in the audience to please stand and be recognized for your service to our nation. Veterans. I also want, while I have a place in my heart for veterans of all generations, I want to thank the Vietnam veterans for what you did to ease my coming home with my generation of veterans. My generation of veterans owe a debt to our Vietnam veteran brothers that we can never repay, and thank you for the lessons you taught this country. Secretary Powell, thank you. I am truly humbled to receive this award from you. I have looked up to you throughout my military career ever since I found hope for ROTC graduates like myself in your military leadership and success. Thank you for your lifetime of service to this country in war and in peace. You truly are an inspiration when it comes to public service. So good evening. I am thrilled to say that I am a graduate of GW. In fact, I came here from Hawaii because back when I was applying, GW had the highest pass rate for the Foreign Service exam. And it also stressed service in its various curricula. And back then I had dreams of joining the Foreign Service. President Knapp, you have done a phenomenal job making sure that public and community service is part of everyday life on this campus. The Freshman Day of Service on September 11th is just one great example of the efforts and commitment to service this university has given to its surrounding community. The knowledge that students gain here, the experiences they have in various service projects will be invaluable wherever their careers take them. I know that they're making an impact on the lives of others and will continue to do that for many years to come. In my current capacity, I have the great privilege of serving at the pleasure of President Barack Obama and working for Secretary Shinseki as we renew, and this is the President's word, as we renew our covenant that this country has with her veterans. Both the President and Secretary Shinseki have dedicated their lives to serving our country. They are prominent supporters of public service, and they have made it clear that they believe that civic engagement and service should be a lifetime commitment. I am grateful for the opportunity to work for them. But the greatest honor in my life will and has always been the privilege of serving in uniform next to some of the most amazing men and women I've ever had the honor of knowing. You know, when this country called and said, who among you will step forth? Who among you will serve? Who among you will leave the comforts of home, leave your kitchen table, leave the warmth of your family to go defend our democracy, not for your wife or your child or your mom or your dad, but for total strangers across this land, people that you will never ever see? Who among you will serve? It is our veterans who stepped forth. It is our veterans who said, I will. I will defend our Constitution. I will defend our democracy. And if I must, I will lay down my life to protect these freedoms for all Americans. These are America's sons and daughters, and they serve and continue to serve with unparalleled dedication. If you call them a hero, however, they will tell you that they are not. They would say to you that they're just doing their job, serving their country, and watching out for each other's backs. But they're the reason that I do what I do. They're why I wake up every day with a sense of purpose and a renewed vow to live my life every day to the fullest. I should have died in that field in Iraq. There's no earthly reason why I made it home. But I made it home because that crew each did their job. My door gunner stood his ground and defended the perimeter, while the pilot in command landed that aircraft and carried me to safety. My crew chief crawled on his hands because he almost lost his leg to fight a fire and help do an emergency engine shutdown. I live today because of them. And that's why I do what I do. It's really easy for me to focus on service members from the military, but I believe that we are all called to serve. Whether you're serving on the PTA or volunteering at a nursing home or at a soup kitchen. You know, I have the great privilege of being a daughter of the American Revolution at the same time that I'm a daughter of an immigrant. My mother is Thai, a proud naturalized American citizen. She is 68 years old. She grew up without the benefits of public education. She worked in sweatshops at the age of 13 and 14, sewing hats in factories. But she loves this country so much. And she has said, you know, I'm going to give something back. And she does it by helping to cook at the temple and giving food to the homeless. And I say that that is just as much service as those who have worn the uniform. It's a different service, but it is the best that she does. She puts her entire heart into it. So no matter what you do, find a way to serve. In the 80s, I remember the faces of Amerasian street children who looked just like me, living on the streets of Southeast Asia. They were thrown away in communities, just simply because they were biracial offsprings of Vietnam veterans and local women. I remember feeling that there, but for the grace of God, that could have been me. No hope for the future, no chances of escape. But that's when I knew that I had to give something back because I was an American. And there were hopes and there were futures for me. And I was going to do something. And that's why I came to GW and that's why I came to DC. You know, I was always proud as a child of the United States ambassador and American programs like the Peace Corps, because even in my childhood eyes in Southeast Asia, I could see what America brought to the world through her humanitarian programs. It was later in life that I realized my road to service would be in uniform, but my service could not have happened anywhere else. In what nation but this could I have gone from food stamps and free school lunches and public education and on to becoming a female assault helicopter pilot? In what other place on earth would I have been given equal opportunity to command and demonstrate my leadership in combat? But the promise of America is only guaranteed and protected by our military. The promise of our nation, however, is made into reality by her people, by those who reach out to the less fortunate, who serve their communities, who travel overseas to extend services to other nations. Without the hard work of public servants and nonprofits to help the needy, the child born into poverty in America or some distant corner of the world may never have access to the health care and education that he needs to grow up to be someone who changes the world. It is because of the commitment, dedication, and generosity of public servants that we live in the greatest country in the world today. But once again, I'm proud to say that our nation is rediscovering that national strength is not measured just by the size of our military. Now, as a helicopter pilot, I like that we have the best helicopters in the world. But I have to tell you that a strong military, while an important part of America's role as a world leader, is not the ultimate strength of this country. This great nation is strong not because of our guns, tanks, and helicopters. We are strong because of the ideas and the values that built this nation. And most importantly, we are strong because of the people who honor those ideas and values. The strength of our democracy comes directly from the diversity and the character of the American people. I believe that we owe our servicemen and women an America that is worthy of their service and sacrifice, and that's where all of us come in. An America where no returning service member or anyone else is denied an opportunity because of race, religion, national origin, gender, or disability. And it takes all of us in public service to guarantee those rights. That's the America that I served overseas and for all of my life. And that is the America that public servants, like the George Washington University students, faculties, donors, and alumni, serve today. It is the American leadership that we are once again reclaiming around the world. Thank you for the incredible honor tonight, and I urge everyone to continue to serve and be advocates for all of those who are in need. I am truly humbled to receive this award in a great American's name, Secretary Powell. God bless all of you. God bless our troops who, while we sit here in this wonderful room and have a wonderful dinner, are in harm's way right now and always. God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll take a moment with me and recognize the Honorable General Colin Powell here tonight to present the award to Secretary Duckworth.
And I want to congratulate George Washington, the George Washington University, for this celebration of service and for creating this new center where the students will be given a focal point for service. Tammy went through George Washington with high marks and grades, and she knew that she wanted to be a Foreign Service officer initially. My travels through George Washington were a little bit different. When I arrived here in 1969, after my second tour in Vietnam, they took one look at my undergraduate records and they asked, "Why are you here?" I graduated some 8 years earlier from the City College of New York with a solid 2.0 average. The City College of New York, after I had been there 4.5 years, run through several majors, but got straight A's in ROTC, which brought my average up to 2.0. They said, "We've had it with you, go, maybe the Army can do something with you." And now I am considered one of the greatest sons of CCNY and the George Washington University. I graduated from George Washington with a straight A average.
Good for you.
Did you?
No, sir.
Okay, well.
I wasn't in ROTC yet.
But as with Tammy, the education that I got at the George Washington University was instrumental in my life and my career. What I learned about myself, what I learned about my profession of leadership and management has stayed with me for all these many, many years. And it is only appropriate that at this point in the history of this magnificent institution, it builds on what it has done for many years on the virtue of service. As Tammy pointed out so vividly, this is a time in our nation's history when we all have to come together and we all have to give back. Those of us who have been blessed by this country, as Tammy and I, as immigrant kids, have been blessed, those of us who have time, talent, and resources, we have to give back. There are a lot of kids in this community, I could take you 2 miles from here, kids who will never get to the George Washington University because we can't get them out of high school. We can't get them out of elementary school. There are millions of kids like this around the country. There are people in need. I drove past homeless people coming here tonight. All of us have an obligation, if we would be faithful to everything that Tammy has spoken about tonight, all of us have an obligation to do what we can to give back, give more than we are already giving. Givers are in the room tonight. But we all have to do more, and we have to encourage others to do more. So I congratulate the president and the chairman and the trustees and the faculty for creating this new center. I'm deeply honored to have this award named after me, but the greatest honor of all tonight for me is to know that this hero, or this magnificent person, is the first awardee for this new recognition. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Tammy. Tammy, I cannot tell you what a great honor it is for me to present you with this first Colin Powell Public Service Award. I'm deeply honored, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, to have such an award named after me, but it is nothing like the honor I have tonight to give it to this wonderful woman. She is the one who is honoring us tonight. Thank you, Tammy.